Winter seizes Alaska.
Officer, cold snaps. Cold snaps we have here.
And crime's frozen grip takes hold.
Try to get her to stop killing somebody.
A high-speed chase in Fairbanks.
We got it? Yes!
Sends Trooper Mulvaney casting wide for a criminal.
31, you and I can set up spike strips on both sides of the road.
All right, we got it right here.
When tourists flood Alaskan waters.
Everybody wants their pictures of bears, so they crowd the bears a little bit more than they should. And they may maul somebody.
The locals could turn hostile.
You guys might want to pick your food up. Bear.
And when suspects flee the scene,
10-4, Mac 11, both units 7.
troopers hope to catch them red-handed.
Put your hands up! Hands on the ceiling!
This is Alaska State Troopers.
They're switching now. Don't move! Don't move! Hands on the roof!
It's plummeting below zero in Fairbanks, and an urgent call sends Trooper Keenan Mulvaney racing down icy roads.
Another trooper has a pursuit through the city right now. He's not yielding. He's all over town right now.
The driver wouldn't pull over for a basic traffic stop. Now she's on the run, leading all units on a dangerous chase down the slick streets.
And all units 10-3 traffic coming.
31, 23rd, Cushing, Abbott, Lane, speeds are at 80.
Mulvaney races to stop the suspect in her tracks.
Okay, we're looking to spike strip him. We're trying to get ahead of him, trying to anticipate. So we're hoping that he comes down in our direction, and we'll go ahead and spike him. All right, we got it right here.
Speeds are at 28 miles an hour. Approaching a red light.
We got it?
The SUV zooms past, racing toward the trooper's worst nightmare. Fairbanks' heavily populated city center.
They just passed us. We tried to get the spikes deployed in time, but we couldn't. They're going back into the city.
Innocent bystanders account for more than a third of car chase fatalities and injuries.
Trying to get her to stop killing somebody.
So troopers must get her off the road now.
We're kind of listening and trying to strategize on where we're going to set up spike strips.
You guys don't want to head to Spiker before the Badger exit.
Deborah, I'm at Gilliman Airport. We're going to be on Lather, but she comes back that way. We're trying to get these neighborhoods to parallel them right now.
Suddenly, the driver changes direction and Trooper Mulvaney gets his chance.
31, you and I can set up spike strips on both sides of the road.
We're setting up spike strips. Did you get her? Yes. Most likely negative deployment. So we missed with the spike strips. We're going to set up to keep going.
But now, Mulvaney's behind the chase. He must race to catch up if he hopes to cut her off again.
She's going to be going southbound ridge. Southbound ridge.
All right, she's going down the highway now.
This pursuit goes from bad to worse. The highway's high speeds ramp up this already icy chase.
We're trying to make sure we don't crash, trying to get there. The roads are pretty bad.
We're not eastbound on Old Ridge.
33, I'm in the rear here, so I'm going to get ready for northbound.
11 just faster. I still am. I'm going to get up ahead a little ways. I'm going to set up my car on the right shoulder and try to display flags to the left lane.
Up the highway, Trooper Zeisel prepares to lay down the law.
19 and Lucy heading your way.
I think they spiked her.
Did you get your spike? Affirmative.
Got her.
Still going westbound on Old Ridge. Speeds are at 10. Yeah. Keep in the ditch.
Down but not out. Now troopers must grab them before they dash into the darkness.
Trooper Hill and I hopped out, everybody else hopped out, and start approaching the vehicle. We can't see what's going on in it because the whole back is covered in snow. So we wouldn't get out, so we have to break the windows.
What's your 20?
What's your middle name?
Turns out the driver's not a woman after all. A quick search shows why he and his passenger ran.
Stealing fuel. It's been a big problem this winter. We've had a lot of home heating fuel thefts in the area, so I was patrolling local businesses today, and I saw this vehicle was suspicious. Decided to follow for a little bit, made a traffic violation, fell and stopped for a stop sign, attempted to pull him over, and we went on the chase halfway to North Pole and then back into Fairbanks. Now, they have approximately 100-gallon drum inside the vehicle. It smells like heating fuel.
About $400 worth. Enough to cause an inferno if they crashed.
They'd look at the real estate listings and, see who was listed, and they'd go check the properties and see if they're vacant. And, if they're vacant, they'd just roll up, steal the fuel, and the house will freeze up. But they don't care because they got the fuel. Well, at $4 a gallon.
And they may also be guilty of another kind of speeding.
They had some Sudafed, which is known for making meth. Sometimes they put the meth inside the vehicle. So once we get a little closer look at the vehicle, we'll know if there's anything like that inside.
Troopers bring the pair in for questioning, but the driver already faces up to 4 years in prison for felony failure to stop.
Staying back to coast.
And Trooper Mulvaney's night has just begun.
It's a busy shift. Right now we're in a cold snap. The extreme cold is definitely affecting the mood of the city. Some people don't take to the darkness very well.
And others thrive in the dark. It's not long before Mulvaney gets a report of a drug dealer peddling his wares across town.
Pretty sure you just wanted to deal.
An off-duty trooper saw a known drug user and drug dealer possibly do a drug deal. Now they're at a bar that's kind of notorious for drug dealing.
Troopers have dealt with this dealer before.
Arrested him a couple months ago for a warrant. He was hiding in a crawl space.
Get out now. If you don't come out, we're going to send in a canine. I've got a canine. I'll bring him in. I got him. You keep him covered. I got him. Roll over on your stomach. Roll over on your stomach.
Do I look like a movie star too, guys? Really? Nice.
Before that, we arrested him for stealing fuel in the Fairbanks area. Lots of different thefts.
But even after multiple arrests, he's right back on the streets.
Different in front of you. One of the passengers went inside the bar. So we're going back out now.
Now troopers have the chance to put him away.
The guy that we're looking at is the driver. He doesn't have a license. Waiting for him to get out on the road, and then we'll make a stop on him. Hopefully catch him with some drugs.
As two troopers stake out the bar, Mulvaney waits down the road in case the suspect flees.
You might be able to come up and sneak around the side and get a better eyeball. I can see it from here, but I can't see him or any of the passengers.
They don't want to spook their suspect, but they can't get close enough to see him seal the deal.
Do you think he'll see me if I go around the backside? Yeah, it's too well lit, so over there. He'll probably notice you. I'll try to get a little closer, but I don't want to expose myself too much.
Suddenly,
brake lights just down.
The driver takes off.
Alright, looks like he's getting ready to back out.
He's moving now, so we're going to go in for the catch here. You want to light him up at 10?
Okay, sounds good.
We're waiting for a good spot to pull him over so we're not messing with him on the side of the busy street here.
Now the suspect's messing with the troopers and won't pull over.
I'm going to get up in front of him alongside, so he has to go that way. Hands out the window! Hands out the window! Hands out the window! Put your hands out the window. They're switching now.
The driver suddenly tries to jump into the passenger seat.
Don't move! Don't move! Put your hands up! Hands on the roof! Hands on the roof! Don't move! Don't move! Hands out the window! Hands out the window! Put your hands out the window. They're switching out.
The driver suddenly tries to jump into the passenger seat.
Don't move! Hands on the roof! Put your hands up! Hands on the roof! Don't move! Don't move! Don't move! How many occupants? Open the door and step out. Open the door and step out. Keep your hands up. Do not face us. Keep your hands above your head. Step out. Do not face us. Face away. Go down to your knees.
After a tense standoff with a suspected drug dealer, troopers get their man and his passenger.
How come you didn't stop right away?
Huh?
How come you didn't stop right away?
What do you mean?
The 3 cop cars behind you.
Because the cops didn't blink their lights or what?
We all 3 had our lights on. Look at this behind you. Look at all this.
Yeah, I know, and I pulled in here right away. As I was getting out of the car, I saw him moving around just really fast. I didn't know if he's trying to get a gun. You know, he is unpredictable. He was not cooperative. He was not putting his hands up. All kinds of stuff that can be bad for law enforcement.
And he might have more bad stuff in the car. The man consents to a vehicle search,
What's terrible is that this is not the first time we searched this car.
looking for any signs that this repeat offender is back to his old ways.
A machete.
But the search comes up clean.
Do you have any drugs in your purse? Just a big knife. You like knives? It looks like if they were doing any kind of drug dealing, it was taken care of before we pulled them over.
They let him go with a summons for driving without a license.
Somebody's always talking about him. This won't be the end. I mean, he pops up on the radar every week.
It's calm here now, but in the Matsu Valley, trouble's blowing in the wind.
This is your rig right here? Was anyone injured?
I'm gonna bash my knees up a little.
Really did a number. This road is definitely turning into ice. This time of year, you get some moisture in the air, and it's so cold, it just makes it sheer ice. Bad time of year for accidents.
But Trooper Lee Phillips has more than icy roads to worry about.
Report is 3 children are home alone. They think someone's inside their residence. They heard the garage door open and can hear some people upstairs.
Right now we're going to a possible burg in progress. Reports coming in that there's 3 kids home alone, and they hear someone in the house.
I'm playing it. It's still in 21 of them. Approximately 13 years old. They're locked in the downstairs bedroom.
Phillips kicks it into gear to get the kids out of their stat.
We'll probably have the kids try and get out through an open window before we start clearing it, just so there's no standoff situation.
But high winds and black ice aren't doing him any favors.
Real windy in this area, so I'm not going to do them any good if I don't get there in one piece. Can't put the rest of this traffic in danger, but still got to get there. Back only 20, 23. Here we go. Let's go time. Is this the right one? All right. Creepy.
Dispatch tells troopers where the kids are hiding before the bad guys find them.
It's going to be the first window next to the garage doors.
That's the garage. All right, hurry up. Get him out.
Troopers help them slip out through a ground floor window.
1720. We got the kids out. You want to watch the backside?
Now with the children out of harm's way, they cautiously move into the house.
State Troopers!
State Troopers, speak to me now! There's like 10 open doors.
State Troopers!
State Troopers, speak to me now! Is anything disturbed? Floor is clear. We're going to move up the stairs.
Guns drawn, troopers sweep for a potential home invader.
State Troopers!
This is where they heard all the noise, right? Start turning on some lights.
State Troopers!
Metro, everything clear. Coming out.
Empty. And the rest of the house is clear.
All right, no one's in there, so that's the good news. Someone may have tried to get in through the back door. The slide glass door, I think, was open according to another trooper. So if you want to come on in, make sure nothing's disturbed, and we'll get out of your hair here.
The residents report nothing's missing.
Time to go.
It looks like the only culprit tonight is the wind.
You know, you can't let your guard down. If you really let your guard down, then that's when you'll really get bit.
But as he leaves the scene, something else catches Trooper Phillips' eye. A roadside brawl.
Back on 20. Some type of disturbance in front. Driving by and seeing an altercation, you want to make sure it's not going to escalate into something worse.
As he pulls over, the group plays it cool, but Trooper Phillips knows what he saw.
Hey, state troopers! Don't go nowhere! What's going on?
He's a little bit drunk. He's trying to walk home. I'm calling him a ride. He's a little bit violent.
Can you go right over there? Hey, state troopers! You have to put your hands behind your head. Everything all right?
Yeah, everything is fine.
Okay, well, I just got to make sure everything is okay. I'm going to need your guys' IDs, though, okay?
A million police officers.
Tell me. So, hold on. You don't put
touch me. I didn't threaten anyone. On the ground.
Now you're under arrest.
For what?
For disorderly conduct. Give me your arm. Give me your arm.
You have arms. You have arms.
The man picks a fight with the wrong guys.
That board got 11080.
Put the cuffs up.
They're not. You're under arrest. All right, that part's already clear. All right, I'm gonna go put you in the heat.
Provoking a fight with the troopers earns him a ride to jail.
It just seemed like it was a verbal disturbance, and some people just want to go hands-on, and that's not the way to go. So he's gonna spend the night in jail. Thank you.
There must be something in the air tonight.
Or what's the detail?
Trooper Phillips' calls keep coming.
Had a disturbance. It's a male and female yelling, screaming, and throwing things.
This one's an erupting domestic situation.
The only information we have is banging coming from the apartment. It's a place we go to frequently.
Complaint reports is escalating that the male threw something outside. Male is going to be outside.
At the scene,
4120, step it up. I got someone running away. We ran back to the apartment. State troopers, come to the door, please.
Come on in.
What's going on, dude?
Come on in. There's nothing to be worried
Well, you tell me what's going on.
about. You're role playing.
You're role playing.
Got a little out of hand. I'm sorry.
All right, why don't you go ahead and have a seat for me, partner? Is it just you two here?
Yes, sir.
What's going on?
Trying to have some great makeup sex. She's role playing.
Did you cat get out?
Yes, we started staging a little bit of a fight to get some people out of here. It just kind of got out of hand.
Was anyone else involved?
No, it was just us.
So how many times have you been called to something like this?
Well, I personally have met you numerous times.
but Phillips isn't buying it.
All right, ma'am. I just want to talk with you outside, okay?
He separates the pair, hoping to get some straight answers about a supposedly kinky situation.
Let's go over here, please. All right. You got stuff smashed all around your apartment there.
That was both of us.
Okay.
It wasn't intentional, actually. The stereo equipment was not intentional.
I'm just going to take a look at your face here, all right?
Yeah, I was actually behind the door when the door opened. I'm
All right.
fine.
I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
I'm serious.
But it was just a
I'm
staged
serious. We
fight.
did stage a fight.
I see you got some little scratch on your
Yeah, I
face
do.
here.
I
Okay.
behind the door when it opened.
I see your DVD player or something is smashed up on the ground there.
Phillips suspects the woman's covering for her partner, but he can't prove it without the woman's statement.
Do you understand I'm here to help you?
I understand that, and I'm not saying that it's not, that you're not. Was a staged fight. I walked back in there.
I've never heard of such a thing. I
We
mean,
do it all the time.
well, with your staged fight, okay, it freaks out all the other neighbors.
This
okay?
got a little louder than normal.
All right, well, here's the deal, all right? You're both going to get disorderly conduct warnings down there, all right?
Okay,
If we
that's
have to
fine.
come back for another staged fight or whatever you want to call it, you're both going to go to jail. You understand?
I understand that. I'm sorry.
Without evidence of abuse, Trooper Phillips can only issue a warning.
Thanks. They're saying it was a staged fight. I wasn't buying it. I wasn't getting anything out of either one of them. So the best way to handle that one for tonight was give them their disorderly conduct warning, and if we have to go back again for the same thing, then one or both of them go to jail.
Alaska's known for its wild behavior. And there's one animal that reigns supreme: the grizzly. The southeast corner of the state averages 1 grizzly per square mile, one of the densest grizzly populations in the world. And in the town of Haines, it's up to wildlife trooper Ken Van Swanson to make sure bears and people keep a safe distance.
We have a lot of bears here in the Haines area, a lot of brown bears. They get very acclimated to having human presence around, and what that creates is the opportunity for tourists to get incredibly close, which is not a good thing. The big ones can be pushing 900 pounds, and when you get people crowding them, it alters their behavior to the point where they are unpredictable. And they may maul somebody.
And that surges during the bustling Canadian Thanksgiving weekend, when the town's human population nearly triples.
The Canadian Thanksgiving is always the first weekend in October. They make it a big family holiday to come down here, camp out, and do as much fishing as they possibly can for cohos.
But this fun-filled family activity can have a deadly cost.
Most of my time out here is being spent babysitting the tourists, making sure that the bears don't do something stupid and the tourists don't do something stupid at the same time.
And sure enough, a popular fishing hole lures more than coho and Canadians.
Bear. Bear. It's one of the local bears. That appears to be one of the bigger sows.
This grizzly smells the catch of the day and ventures toward the river for an easy meal. Trooper Van Spronson heads out, loaded for bear.
Carry a 12-gauge shotgun. Never leave home without it when you're dealing with them. We're only 100 yards or so from people. We have a fisherman that's fishing right down here, 50 yards away from us down there. That bear is somewhere in this bush, and you can't see her. Pretty much loaded up with slugs right now, just in case she does something stupid. There she is.
An adult brown bear reappears, all 600 pounds of her, and only yards away from the anglers.
Is she right down there?
The fishermen quickly call it a day.
You guys might want to pick your food up. If she comes up, she'll probably go after it. It's fun to go down and catch the fish right away, but man, these bears, as soon as you leave, they're watching you.
Right.
And as soon as you leave, they're going to come in here, and if you got anything, candy bars, Snickers, anything in there, they will tear the inside of your car to shreds.
Right.
That wouldn't be fun.
That would not be fun. No.
So, all right? Yep.
Down the road, Trooper Van Spronson spots another bear fishing for trouble.
Everybody wants their pictures of the bears, so they have a tendency to crowd the bears a little bit more than they should.
And these bears may not be ready for their close-ups.
These folks have no idea how fast and how powerful these things are. See them being all roly-poly teddy bearish out there and have no idea what kind of power and what kind of aggression they can show when they want it. If you only have 15, 20 feet of space between you and a bear, and that bear decides that it no longer wants you to be standing there, that bear can cover that 15, 20 feet in a blink of an eye.
Then Spronson stands guard.
Is there another one that's hanging around here?
There's 8 or 9 of them that are hanging around here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But just 2 today.
So far.
Then Spronson must have eyes in the back of his head to avoid a grisly scenario.
They'll get focused in on the one that they can see and not keep watching back behind them for the one that may or may not be there, the one they can't see. There's a saying, bears do what bears want to do. And like all predators, they go for the easiest thing. So it's always running through the back of your mind when you're out there and you have these little 3, 4, 5, 6-year-old kids wandering around. If something does happen, chances are that bear's going to go for that little kid instead of the adult standing next to it.
After a tense few minutes, the bears move on.
As soon as she starts heading downriver like this, I'm not that worried about it. There'll be a couple of fishermen downriver, but this river is open enough that they can see her coming from a ways away.
500 miles northwest in the Matsu Valley, the wind chill dips into the single digits.
We got some winds gusting to about 35 miles an hour, which brings the temps down pretty considerably.
But Sergeant Tony Wagson's patrol is starting to heat up.
219, Berg in progress.
Ah, geez, I've got a Berg in progress.
Thanks for putting there for stealing things from the garage. Suspects have a big white pickup that's parked on the side of the road.
We got a call of a burglary in progress in a neighborhood that's a high-crime neighborhood. The house belongs to an individual that we just took to jail. But once the word gets out that an individual is out of their house, they generally start helping themselves to their property. There's no honor among thieves.
If troopers play it right, they'll catch the suspect in the act.
We've got another unit that's coming from the opposite end of the neighborhood. We're going to run into somebody that doesn't want to stick around to talk to us.
Complete suspect, but where are the people involved?
I know. He's one of the folks that we run into on a pretty regular basis.
Units responding is 1099, 1098, towards law enforcement, and are for the advisement.
And he apparently got what he came for.
Units responding that suspect vehicle is leaving is occupied. It's heading back towards the exit of the first hiding.
2911, 1020.
Troopers close in from both sides. This suspect's got nowhere to run.
10-4, Mac 11, both units have a couple quick minor features. Hands on the ceiling! Hands on the ceiling! Hands on the ceiling! Hands on the ceiling! Keep them up! Roll down the window. We got a call that you guys were just at a residence down the road and possibly stealing stuff.
I didn't steal nothing.
Okay, tell me what you guys were doing down there.
I gave him a ride.
Who's your passenger? Be honest with me. You don't want to go to jail.
No, I don't.
Okay, so tell me who he is.
It's
That's what I thought. You stay right where you're at, put the car in park, turn it off for me.
The driver confirms the suspect is the man with the outstanding warrant.
You good?
I didn't take nothing. I don't do nothing. I don't steal. I don't do nothing.
Okay.
But he swears the troopers have it all wrong.
Did you know you had a warrant for your arrest?
No, I didn't.
You know whose house that was?
I went there looking for a backpack that I had clothes in.
And you normally do that at 3 o'clock in the morning?
Well, no, I just asked the boy there, look.
Where is it?
It's there in that shed, probably.
Okay, so you never actually got it.
Well, I just...
Why'd you leave? Why'd you leave before you got the backpack if that's all you were looking for?
Well, because I didn't really find it. There was one.
A search of his pockets suddenly makes this questioning a lot more urgent.
Man, where's the gun that goes with us?
22. I just had a couple shells in my pocket.
Why do you carry around bullets if you don't have a gun?
Where's all of these bullets?
That's the 22 I put in my dad's house. They shoot squirrels in the yard, all right?
He claimed they were from a long gun that he didn't have with him. Searched him further, he didn't have any firearms on him or in the vehicle. But there's always a possibility.
And the man's pockets are full of more surprises.
What's this?
That's just a piece of tinfoil watered up into the pocket.
Why do you have a piece of tinfoil water?
I don't know. I don't know what that is. You sure came out of my pocket? I have nothing on me, sir.
Were these your pants?
Yeah, they're my clothes, sir.
So how did this bindle with tinfoil in it get in your pants pocket if it's not yours?
I did, but I don't know. It wasn't on me. I didn't go.
It could be a bindle, popular for carrying drugs, usually heroin or cocaine.
He claims he didn't know what's in the bindle. We'll find out what's in it when we get back to post. So it's tough to do something like that at 30 degrees with 35-mile-an-hour winds on the side of the road. You're pretty high on something right now. What are you high on?
Scared.
No, you're not scared. You're high.
But he can't talk his way out of this.
He goes to jail for the warrant. We'll identify what's in the bindle. There's potential that there's controlled substances inside the bindle. He could be facing additional criminal charges if that's the case. I apologize for the frightening night. How's the warrant for his arrest? I appreciate you being honest with me. You don't want to get yourself in any trouble. No. Okay. He's bad news. He's going to get you in trouble if you're not careful. There you go. That's the best bet. You drive safe tonight. Thanks.
Back in frigid Fairbanks, the icy snow-covered roads get the best of Alaskan drivers.
I got flagged down by somebody saying there's a vehicle in the ditch down here. Not uncommon this time of year. He said the driver may have smelled like alcohol, though, so there could be a DUI component.
Trooper Mealy finds the driver wheels deep in denial.
Yeah, the VID. How you doing? So, tell me what's going on with your truck.
The truck's in the ditch, sir.
I know it's in the ditch. What happened tonight when you were driving down the road?
I wasn't driving.
Who was driving? Who?
That's all I know. A hitchhiker.
A hitchhiker? You let some hitchhiker get in your car and drive it?
Truck, sir.
That's not very believable.
But the man sticks to his story and digs himself a deeper hole.
Were you driving? I mean, why are you lying to me? Why are you lying to me about some hitchhiker driving your car?
I'm not lying to you.
Why were you letting this guy drive your truck?
Because I was drinking.
Because you were drinking. Where did he go?
He ran.
He ran. Why did he run?
Because he was drinking.
Because he was drinking. So you let a drunk guy drive your car?
No, sir. That's not a lawyer. He was sober.
You just said he was drunk.
No, he was not drunk.
Do you have any ID on you?
Yes, I do.
Can you see your ID, please?
I certainly do. Hello.
Come here, give me your ID, please.
Hello. Fairbanks, Alaska. 20 below last week. 10 above this week.
Let me
so Alaska.
Come here and talk.
We're in road. It's 10 above or 20 above. Officer, cold snaps. Cold snaps we have here. And unfortunately, this is the first cold snap we've had here in Fairbanks.
You gotta talk to me or you gonna keep playing games?
Without solid evidence putting the man behind the wheel.
He wasn't in the car, he wasn't anywhere near the car, and he denied being in control of the car. So I didn't have the charges for a DUI.
Trooper Mealy must let him go with a warning.
He only lives right up the street, so he could get home without being in danger. All right, here's the deal. Listen to me for a minute. I don't believe for 1 second you're doing anything but lying to me about driving your truck tonight, okay? Drinking alcohol, I can smell it. So go home, sleep it off.
So I got no ride home, huh? Intoxicated in public. Can I get arrested walking home?
No, go home.
All right.
But just when Mealy thinks this case is closed...
What just happened? No, he just... Which is against the law. It's still Alaska. Middle of the road, you pulled your pants down and exposed your butt to us.
Oh, now I'm going to jail.
Yeah, now you're going to jail.
Trooper Mealy charges him with disorderly conduct for exposing himself.
So I'm not a bad boy.
Okay, listen.
I work very hard. I'm vice president.
Yep,
I'm a Freemason. I'm a Freemason.
Okay, hold on.
I've been here 20 years. I rode a bicycle. Here in California.
Do I need to take you to the hospital or not?
No!
Okay, I need a breath sample to prove it.
Do I have a choice? Jail or hospital? I don't know. Let's just go. Let's just go.
Just try one more time.
Let's go to Sing Sick. I told you last time.
$500 bail. Do you have $500 on your credit card?
I do. You got my credit card? Just put me to death.
He was obviously pretty intoxicated and Very talkative. He's refused to give us a breath sample, so he's on his way to the hospital now to get medical clearance before he can go to jail.
He really spun my truck.
Yeah, he sure did.
Back in the frozen Matsu Valley, Trooper Calhoun spots a driver not playing by the rules. But this stop isn't so routine.
Hang out in your car for me. State troopers, you know I pulled you over?
No.
Because you jumped through the parking lot in order to beat the light. Where are you coming from?
It was the Christmas party for my work.
Did you guys have anything to drink?
No.
I can smell it coming out of the window, that's why I'm asking. You did? Hey, sir, you mind sitting all the way back? I can't see your right hand and you're digging in your pocket. You're making me nervous.
I was putting my wallet.
Okay. Do you have any guns, knives, weapons, anything like that inside the vehicle? Pull your hands out from underneath your seat. You're making me nervous. Okay.
The truck reeks of alcohol, and the driver keeps hiding his hands. So Calhoun keeps pressing.
Do you have any weapons on you right now?
No.
But his body language suggests otherwise.
Ma'am?
Yeah.
Is there a firearm inside the vehicle? I'll be grabbing for it, okay?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Sit tight here, okay? Thank you. It just blows my mind. Loaded gun that makes me really nervous. It looks like a little 38.
Not sure what else this guy might be packing, Calhoun calls for backup.
Yeah, I never pulled the guy out of the vehicle, but immediately I asked him if he had any weapons. He had a loaded gun in the center console, right by his hand. Females are admitting to drinking. On this guy, I can smell alcohol, but he's not admitting to any kind of alcohol. Okay. You want me to back up or anything? Or do you want to just put him in front of your vehicle?
The driver's problems might be just beginning, depending on field sobriety tests.
If you put your foot down at any time, you pick it right back up the surf from where you left off. Make sure to keep your arms down your side.
So he's had at least two, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
The beer and the wine?
Beer and wine. Well, just a little bit of champagne we got there.
With the driver occupied, Trooper Calhoun checks his vehicle for more weapons.
Keep in mind, when you take the responsibility that you're going to carry a firearm, whenever you see those red and blue lights or whatever the case may be, make sure and let us know, okay? Because I did ask you guys if you had any weapons. Okay. You did hear me ask, though.
I did.
Okay.
It crossed my mind, and I didn't think I...
That's a crime. And it makes me really nervous when he's hopping out of the vehicle as soon as I'm stopping you guys. All right, sit tight here, okay? Thank you.
Go ahead and take a deep breath. You're not blowing into it, all right? You need to actually put it in your mouth, all right? There you go. Okay.
Sir, that beeping means you're not blowing, okay? Real easy.
Nice deep breath and blow, all right?
Just take a deep breath.
Harder, 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 harder. You're not blowing into it, all right? All right, take a deep breath. All right. What you're doing, you're not blowing in. All the way around. You actually have the straw in your mouth. And you think it's 5 to 10 seconds of air, all right? All right. I'm going to give you one more shot here, okay? Nice deep breath and blow, all right? What's the yearly limit in Alaska is? Okay, based upon my observations tonight, you are going to be placed under arrest for DUI.
You are over the limit.
He blows over the limit and tests the limits of Trooper Calhoun's patience.
He also had a knife on him. Lied to us 3 times now, so pretty straightforward question if you ask me. Do you have any weapons on you right now? And the guy is telling me no. Turns out he had a gun right under the hand that he was looking for something with. In the state of Alaska, that's a misconduct involving a weapons charge along with the DUI. So he was arrested for both of those. People aren't thinking straight, they're impaired, so they're more willing to make stupid decisions. Could have just got out of it for a $10 cab ride. He gets to come home with us, and she gets to go home alone on this night that was supposed to be for a Christmas party.
On the streets of the Matsu Valley, or in the 286,000-acre wilderness of Haines,
Look at that big bunch over there.
troopers make sure people act responsibly, and Wildlife Trooper Ken Van Spronsen is on the hunt for rule breakers.
Today we're going to head out, we're going to check sport fishermen, and there's also some goat hunts going on the other side of the canal. There's also a commercial shrimp fishery that's open, and some deer hunts going on in the south end of the canal. Especially up here with me being the only trooper and with our seasons overlapping so much, when I go out, I never know what I'm going to find.
Helping him patrol this enormous natural playground is Sergeant Matthew Dobson.
There's a couple of commercial guys that are doing a commercial Dungeness crab fishery. We'll go check their gear, make sure their gear is legal.
Van Spronsen heads to one of the area's busy crabbing holes to see if their gear makes the grade.
We're in one of the areas that a lot of people like to crabfish. There's some pots out here yesterday. I'm just trying to see if they're still out. People can move them around all the time.
They check pots to make sure they meet state requirements.
In order to be a legal crab for a commercial fisherman to take and sell, it has to be 6.5 inches across the back of the shell. That's a legal crab male, so that's good to go. So we'll put a little tag on here and let the guy know that we inspected his gear.
The high price of crab means fierce competition.
If somebody else sets a pot in their favorite area, it's not uncommon to hear stories of people going and cutting the buoys off of other people's pots and letting their pots sink to the bottom. People guard their areas very highly.
But crabbers aren't the only ones looking for a bite.
This is a sea lion haul out. It's one of the local areas where all the sea lions sun themselves. They're always here. They're protected by a Federal Marine Mammals Protection Act, so it's big fines if you harass them. Fishermen don't like them because they eat salmon and crab. At times they've been known to steal salmon right out of fishermen's nets.
At their next stop, they may have snagged the day's first violation, an illegal pot.
What in the world we got going on here? Haven't seen one of those since the spring. They take and wrap it in burlap to make it a dark area. Isn't seeing his escape anymore. Nope, didn't have one.
A pot must have a way of automatically freeing the trapped crab or shrimp if it loses its buoy and sinks.
Nothing on the side.
No, I'll pull that burlap off that side. There's another bungee over there. I'll check, but...
If troopers catch a fisherman with faulty equipment, they can fine him hundreds of dollars and confiscate his gear.
So if that rots,
that'll pop off. Yeah.
Pop off.
Technically.
Although crude, this pot does have an escape hatch.
Right here, this little cotton thing, when this cotton rots, it'll release this bungee cord. When this bungee cord gets released, that door will open and the shrimp will be able to swim out.
But Van Spronson wants to ensure this fisherman used the right materials.
This is probably a homemade pot from the looks of it. I'm just going to check one real quick thing. Just doesn't feel right to me. The requirement for the law is the string has to be 100% cotton, so it's 100% biodegradable. A lot of these guys have figured out that there's a manufacturer out there that makes a cotton twine that has a plastic center in it. Cotton burns, plastic melts. There's no melting going on there, so that's good stuff.
This pot checks out.
A lot of people know that I'm out there. They know that I'm checking the stuff, and because of that, I get days like today where I don't find any violators, which in my book is a good thing.